Hey friends, I want to share a song with you that I think the way this came about was I started randomly singing it. I think it was it was before Annalise's violin class one day. My daughter, we were standing outside a parking garage like before her class, and I had her on my shoulders, and I just started randomly singing this song without even really remembering what it was called. And it but she loved it, and then I heard her singing it later, and then at some point she was like, I want to learn it on violin, so now she's learning it on her violin. But anyway. It's called How Can I Keep From Singing? Beautiful old piece. My father sang it at my brother's wedding a few years back. And it feels like it fits the mood today because not only is it just a beautiful song that we've now bonded over, she hasn't quite learned it, but she's almost there. And it represents, the lyrics are this celebration of beauty in the world, this celebration of music, of life. And I thought it was really sort of noticeable that she picked up on it. I mean, I feel like I sing random songs at her all the time, but this one stuck. And it represents, I think quite a bit about when I'm working with her on violin. I'm a musician. I've talked about this on a number of posts. I'm a musician, obviously. I love music. I've made really a good portion of my life about music. And so working with my daughter, helping her practice, guiding her early stages of development as a musician is just one of the great joys of my life. And I have to sort of be conscious that I'm serving her, not serving me, because it's really easy as a musician who's invested in our child's musical evolution. I want so deeply to share my joy and my delight in music with her, and to watch her build the skills, watch her develop the language. So I have to be careful of that agenda in myself. I have to be cognizant of what she's really asking for. I've been going to these Montessori classes where they talk about, especially in these early phases of life, we want our children to learn what they gravitate towards. We want their own internal sense of resonating with something to be the guiding factor in what their learning involves. Because it's really easy to get an idea about what kids should learn and then just go about trying to fill them with that stuff, and it doesn't usually work out that well. It doesn't usually create a joyous experience on either the teaching end or the learning end. And the fact is, violin is an extremely hard instrument. There's so many elements going on. The auditory, pitch, rhythm thing, the fine motor skills, the body strength, posture, the mental focus. There's so much being developed learning an instrument. And so that's just not always easy for a 4-year-old, 5-year-old to do, which is where parents do come in to sort of set a container for that, set some expectations, set a routine. And all of that is part of learning the language of music. That's all a great kind of background in the foundational elements of the musical language. But today, we did a practice session, and she's got this piece in book 1. It's the last piece in book 1 of the Suzuki books of violin study, and she's playing this piece, Gavotte. It's the last piece, and it has an 8-note slur in it. It has 2 4-note slurs right in a row. That's an 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes on. But those little 8-note slurs are no joke. It's all in one position. You have to use all 4 fingers. It's hard. We've been working on it for a couple of weeks now, and I've been, trying to get her to focus, trying to get her to maintain the integrity of her hand instead of just like kind of going for the notes and compromising the integrity of her hand, which makes it harder to play. And it's been a bit of a battle. That's not always a welcome adjustment, right? And I remember being a kid, I wanted to do it the fastest way I could. I knew better. I know what I'm doing. If I just keep doing it this way, it'll work better. The idea that I might relax and make less effort or make more effort of a different kind of effort, a more kind of consciousness effort versus a muscular effort, that might guide my playing in a positive direction. Don't come at me with that. I know what I'm doing. I just have to try harder. So we've had a little bit of a it's been a bit of a roller coaster as far as how much she will allow me to guide her in this way. But today, first of all, she was up for everything. There's nothing I said. Everything I suggested was like easy for her to take on. She was super playful the whole time. And then we started fooling around. She started there's a couple times where she would, miss a note and it would be flat or something. And it just became so much fun. We started laughing. Then she started playing wrong notes on purpose. And it became just this joyful, playful practice session where she was just and she didn't want to stop. When it was time for her to go have her special time with Mama, which is what we do after practice before breakfast in the morning, She didn't want to go. She just wanted to keep playing, wanted to keep practicing, which is a good sign. So feeling that and experiencing that and going there and being that joyous in sharing music and feeling like we were like telling each other jokes by playing wrong notes, making each other laugh by doing things, making little kind of like musical gags. I can hardly express the joy. I can hardly express what it felt like to be there and to be playing in that way. It's just such a beautiful experience. And yesterday was a tough practice session. So you never know what you're going to get, and you never know when the next, what I've learned is I never know when it's, I never know how. I always think that I've figured out like how to make practices easier by like some new strategy or some new structure to the routine or whatever it is. But the fact is it's just up and down. It's a roller coaster. Some days are tough, some days are easy. That's how it is. And the main thing is to remain consistent. And I think to remain, for me personally, on my side of things, to remain gentle. To remain gentle so that even when it feels like things are going off the rails and we're not getting anything done, we're wasting the entire session, either being in resistance or doing things, kind of like stalling or whatever it is. There's a million ways of, not really practicing. But even in those moments, to just be gentle, trustworthy, playful. Doesn't mean I can't be firm, doesn't mean I can't have expectations. It just means know that the ultimate goal is not happening today, is not a thing today. It's a relationship to the process. I want to establish a relationship to the process. If I do that, then she will direct her own lifelong learning in music. And that's easy to say, and it's a lot harder to do day in, day out, and to come from that place every single day, day in, day out, regardless of where I am personally and regardless of how my goals for her or for this process are evolving or shifting, or keeping myself in check continuously is part of it. So anyway, but today was just one of those joyous moments, and a song like "How Can I Keep From Singing" feels like it expresses what my heart has to say. How can I keep from singing about the musical journey? So yeah. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate you. That's where I am today. Look forward to more soon. Much love.